Why was it hard for post-colonial communists to keep ideals? Imagine fighting for a new world where everyone is equal, only to find that the reality of building a nation gets in the way. That's what many post-colonial communist leaders faced after independence. When colonies gained freedom from imperial powers, they inherited economic systems built to serve foreign interests. These systems made it tough to create true socialist economies because the old structures stayed in place. The global economy, dominated by capitalism, kept pressure on these new nations to follow the rules of international trade and finance, often forcing them into alliances or policies that didn't match their communist ideals. Another challenge was the clash between global communist goals and local nationalist priorities. Leaders wanted to unite their people and develop their countries, but they also felt the pull of international solidarity. Sometimes they promised to fight capitalism everywhere, but in practice, they focused on stabilizing their own governments. This meant forming alliances with wealthy countries or powerful elites, which went against the idea of proletarian leadership. Over time, many regimes became bureaucratic or even authoritarian, drifting away from the original vision of a worker-led society. External forces also played a role. The Cold War created a divided world where superpowers supported different sides. Some post-colonial states faced military interventions, economic sanctions, or covert operations that made it harder to sustain socialist policies. The international communist movement itself fractured, with some parties aligning with imperialist interests or abandoning revolutionary principles. For example, some countries engaged in arms trade or military cooperation with Western powers, which directly conflicted with anti-imperialist ideals. Inside these nations, social divisions added more complexity. Colonial rule often left behind ethnic, religious, or class divisions that made unity difficult. Communist movements struggled to bring together diverse groups under a shared class struggle because these identities often took precedence. Reactionary forces exploited these divisions, preventing a unified working class movement from taking hold. Lastly, the social and economic inequalities left by colonialism were hard to fix quickly. Landlords, business owners, and foreign corporations still held power, resisting efforts to redistribute wealth or empower workers. This made it even harder for communist ideals of equality and workers' control to take root. In the end, the struggle to keep communist ideals alive in post-colonial states was shaped by a mix of external pressures, internal divisions, and the difficulty of transforming inherited systems. Many of these movements shifted from revolutionary hopes to more pragmatic, state-centered regimes that often compromised or abandoned their original visions.